Let's try this again. Hi everybody, and welcome to Sunday Morning Knits, my channel where I talk about all the fiber related crafts that I have been getting up to lately, mostly knitting and spinning, but sometimes crochet. This is podcast episode 23, which is a little bit crazy because it's been like 6 weeks since I last recorded. I'm very sorry about that. That was an unintentional hiatus. There's just a lot going on that I'll talk about more in the life section at the very end, but there's a lot going on and I just needed a little bit of a break from filming YouTube videos. So I am back, hopefully without any more unintentional breaks in between. And I have a lot to share with you today, and I'm so excited to talk about this stuff. So I'm going to start with some kind of like news and a pattern release, and then we'll talk about finished objects and works in progress and acquisitions, and then some life chat. So the first thing that I wanted to say is I have a new pattern out. This is the Eos Slipover, and it has now been released as part of the Puget Sound LYS tour as a collaboration with Tea Cozy Yarn in Seattle. Emily reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in designing her store's knitting pattern. Oh no, Kitty, do not step on my laptop. My cat has been like insistent on standing on my laptop, which she knows she's not allowed to do. It's been very annoying. Anyway, Emily reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in designing her store's pattern for the yarn crawl, and I of course said yes immediately. And this is what we have. It is a slipover DK weight. It comes in 11 sizes, so ranging from a 28-inch bust all the way up to a 68-inch bust, with a recommended 2 inches of positive ease. It has a cropped fit, but you can absolutely extend it. There's a tiny bit of crochet detail around the collar, or you can just do an I-cord like I've done around the sleeves. And it comes with optional waist shaping as well. It features crossed cables on the front, some lace and some moss stitch, and stockinette on the back. This pattern is now available on my Ravelry and my website, and if you grabbed a copy of it during the Puget Sound LYS tour, thank you so much. And this pattern is out now, so thank you so much, Emily, and thank you so much for all of those who've already downloaded my pattern. I really appreciate it. You're all amazing. This is my very first garment, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. I can't wait to design more garments in the future. Okay, so that is the first piece of news. I think that's actually all of it for news. I guess the other piece of news is that the Eos Socks have gone into testing. These are now in testing. You can see that it features a very similar pattern to what we saw on the Eos Slipover. This is in testing, and this pattern will be coming out on June 15th. So a few weeks away, three-ish weeks away. And I'm very excited. I love these socks so much. I'm so proud of them. They hang on my wall because I love the way that they look. And yeah, that will be coming June 15th. Let's talk about finished objects. So you are seeing me wear my Stornoway sweater for the first time. Second time? Have I worn this in a podcast? Yes, I did wear this in a podcast already, but then I kind of took it apart. So you would have seen this in a podcast. I think this was 2 podcasts ago, and I hadn't decided if I liked the sleeves because they were really short. And I put a post out on Instagram asking if anyone knew if like the sleeves were gonna stretch out. I mentioned the yarn that I was using, and my lovely friend Coley of Paisley Knits DM'd me and was like, it's not gonna stretch out, because I'm using non-superwash yarn, and I had not made that connection. I guess I just didn't know, like I had blocked them and stretched them out and they were fine, but then they like scrunched back up, and I didn't like that. So Coley was like, yeah, no, it's gonna right back up because that's what non-superwash yarn does. And I was like, how did I not know that? I was one of that day's lucky 10,000. So I ripped the sleeves out and I lengthened them. So you can actually see where I've like kind of Kitchenered the sleeve back together. I basically cut here and then picked up stitches, knit all the way down, and then Kitchenered the cuff back on because I was like, that was a lot It was a lot of ribbing. And I think I did through the back loop. No, I did not do through the back loop, but it was a lot of ribbing, and I was like, I don't really want to redo that. So I just cut it off and kitchen turned it back on. But my sleeves are officially lengthened. I'm very happy with it. I do, of course, still have my qualms about this pattern, which you are welcome to go check my past podcast episodes to hear all about. And I'm not super thrilled with my yarn choice. It's already pilling quite badly, which I figured going into this because it's non-superwash, but single ply, very soft yarn. So I knew it was going to pill. I just wasn't expecting it to pill this fast, you know? But that's okay. I'm just gonna have to take like extra good care of it, I guess. And in case you're curious, yes, it is entirely too hot to be wearing in Los Angeles in May. But we suffer for our art, and I'll be taking this off immediately once I'm done filming this podcast. But I do want to wear it at least once in its like perfectly finished state. So that's my Stornoway sweater for you. I knitted it as part of the Stornoway Sweater Squad Cal, hosted by those lovely twins who knit and Casey of Young Folk Knits. So we all have matching Stornoway sweaters, and I think that's so cute. Rachel and Jessica's versions are just, oh, so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I love everything they do. If you don't follow them, you should. They're amazing, and they're like the sweetest humans on the planet. Just love them. Okay. In terms of finished objects, I have one to share. I have like a stockpile of finished object sweaters that I'm like wearing slowly on the podcast, which is so rare for me. So this sweater is done, but you're not going to see it until the next episode on me because obviously I'm wearing my Stornoway. I am done my Saskie sweater. Oh, I'm so happy to be finally done this sweater. I casted it on in June of 2024 and then cast it off in May of 2025. I think I finished this like the beginning of the month, so the like new FO feeling has kind of worn off a little bit. But it is still a finished object because you haven't seen it on the podcast yet, so I'm all done. Look at that beautiful, look at these little beautiful bunnies. I just love them so much. This is also far too hot to wear in Los Angeles, but I'll have a reason eventually. Yeah, I just got stuck on Body Island. That's why it took me so long. I knit it to the crop length, which was my original plan, and then I just didn't like how it was fitting, so I had to order more yarn, and then I just kept knitting until the body was a length that I really liked. So I don't actually know how long this is, and I've blocked like up to here, and I haven't blocked the rest of it, so you can actually see that the hem is kind of like rolling up. But that's okay. Maeve, please don't step on my keyboard. I'm in the middle of filming. Why are you such a menace? Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm all done my Saskie sweater. I'm super happy with it. I love the way that it has turned out. I can't wait to wear it. I love Wei Chin's patterns so much. I really want to knit a ton more of her beautiful designs. So there will be more coming in the future. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. So that is my Saskie sweater. Okay, I guess the other finished object is my Eos sock that I've already showed. I have, okay, I guess it's not 1000% finished, but I'm gonna show it anyway, because it's basically done. I have a finished spin. As you can see, it's still in the bobbin because I finished applying it last night, so I have not yet washed it, wet set it, or anything like that, but I am done. I love the way this has turned out. Oh, come on, don't focus on my face. Focus on this. Here we go. I love the way this turned out. This was May's Fibre Club from the Mercerie. This is 100% Corriedale in the colorway Wood Ash by 316 Dye Studio. I've never spun with her fiber before, and I've always wanted to, so this is lovely. And I think it's come out at about a DK. We'll see how it blooms. I think it's about a DK right now. It was a 2-ply, and I spun it end to end but like opposite ends to opposite ends. So the same way actually that they spun it at La Mercerie. I'm basically just copying exactly how they spin everything because I love what they're doing with their fiber. So I'm gonna do too. And this was 4 ounces and it is destined, I think, to become a pair of socks for my dad. I'm very excited. I think he's gonna love it. Yeah, so I will wash this tonight, but I thought I would show this as a finished object because it's basically done. And I have a feeling by the time you see it next, it'll be socks. I think that's it for finished objects. I feel like I've lost track of my knitting since I last filmed. Like, I don't remember what I started and what I hadn't in my last video. Okay, well, let's talk about works in progress then. I have, as usual, a bajillion. Okay, this first work in progress, I am so proud of myself for working on because this has been a whip since lockdown. I talked about it in my Frogger finish because this has been a work in progress for like literal years. And I was like, this is one that I have to finish. I love this one. And that is my Korvshan sweater. So, like I said, I started this in lockdown. This is the Korvshan sweater by Strikkecafe. And I do want to say that this pattern is not size inclusive. It only goes up to a 2X. And when I started knitting sweaters in lockdown, that wasn't on my radar. I wasn't really thinking about size inclusivity and things like that, even though I think I'm knitting the size extra large or 2XL. So like, I should have been aware that there weren't any bigger sizes, but I was not. So I would probably not make this sweater today. But I have the yarn for it. I was mostly done the body, so I do want to finish it. So the last time you saw this, I had finished, I think I was almost on the front, and I was about to bind off for the neck or something and then do the sleeves. And I was at the like split at the back for the sleeves and then had to like knit the back panel. So since then I have finished the front, finished the back, bound off the shoulders and added the collar. It's not sewed down yet, but I finished knitting it. All I have left now is the sleeves. So I'm really loving it. It's gonna be big and oversized, which I love. I'm using Knitpicks Eco, whatever their Eco line is, in the like warm cream color. I can't remember which one it is, unfortunately. Oh wait, I think I have a skein. As a tiny side tangent, I bought a beautiful Joji & Co. gardener bag in their chocolate brown leather, and I am in love with this project bag. It is stunning. The only qualm I have is it kind of smells odd. And I'm hoping that dissipates because I don't really love the smell, but I'm assuming that's because it's handmade leather. So, I love this. It's an amazing bag. It holds everything. Okay, I have, oh yes, this is the Simply Wool Bulky Weight in the color, oh, can you read that? There we go. In the colorway Wanda. And I'm holding it with the Aloft mohair in the colorway Oat. And it's coming out as this like beautiful kind of golden color, and I'm loving it. So yeah, I'm very excited. This was the second sweater I ever started. So I have been knitting since I was like 5 or 6, but I was like basically only knitting socks up until lockdown, and because I was like just not confident in my knitting skill, you know. And I decided, I was like, I'm gonna knit a sweater. So I knit the My Dear sweater. because, you know, I was like, yeah, my first sweater is gonna be color work, because why not? And then my second sweater is gonna be a basket weave, because why not? And when I started it, I wasn't super confident with reading charts, so you can actually see, like, at the very bottom where I have kind of messed up, like where the eyelets go, like you can kind of see, like, right here that I've like messed up the eyelets and stuff. It's kind of hard because I just didn't know how to read charts, but it was a good learning curve. I'm not gonna rip back. I kind of like that this sweater is a little time capsule of how much I've improved in my knitting. Like, yeah, there's a few errors down at the bottom. When I first started knitting it was my first chart pattern, and I ended up doing like the 3 needle bind off and everything, like without looking it up, because I just know how to do that now. And now I design lace chart patterns myself, so I kind of love that it's a little time capsule of my knitting. I'm very lucky that my gauge hasn't changed too much since starting this pattern a bajillion years ago. So I haven't had to worry about that too much. I know this is going to stretch out a lot just because I've worked with this yarn before. So I am looking forward to that. I do want it to be like gigantic and oversized. I think that's going to be great. And I think I mentioned this already, but I'm in the size XL. I think today I would have probably made 2X, just for a little bit more of an oversized fit, but yeah, that's the Korvshan sweater, and I'm very excited to finish this. Okay, what else am I working on? I have a surprising number of sweaters on my needles right now, which, if you know me, is not my usual. In my beautiful knitting swan bag with a strap that I added, because I carry this to school with me all the time, I have a fun sweater that I casted on because I was finally done my, I was finally done the Saskie sweater and was like, okay, I can cast on another project now. I am finally knitting my Kindra. Come on, focus. I am so excited. So I've had this project planned for like 6 or 8 months now. I am using, as all of my beautiful color work, the Nutcracker Advent from Sunday Fibre Co. that I got last year. I got it in the Kindred fingering, so it is a non-superwash fingering weight wool, and I'm using Sandusgarn Double Sunday as my main color, which is that beautiful cream. And I just think it's so beautiful. I love how this is turning out. Like, look at how stunning that is. Oh, I know it's kind of dark where I'm sitting, so you might not be able to fully get how beautiful the colors are. But if I like turn it towards the light, oh, yeah, you can't really see. I love it. I am so excited for this to be done. I am doing 2 color work. So I have English in one hand, continental in the other, and look at how beautiful these floats are. I know this is maybe like a strange thing to be proud of, but like my floats are perfect, and it's just so satisfying to look at, and I know other knitters will understand. The floats are just, oh, so satisfying. So yeah, I'm working on my Kintra. I love it. I did not gauge swatch for this pattern because the gauge that is suggested for the sweater is my gauge on DK, and so I wasn't worried. And I eventually measured my gauge on the top of the color work, and I was like way off. It was way too small, even though I'd gone up a needle size, which is what I always do for color work. So I think like halfway through this, I just switched to like 2 sizes bigger of needles, and I didn't rip back. So like up here is 1 size, and then this part is a different size, like it's 2 sizes bigger, and this size is now, like this part's now on gauge, but this part was way too tight. And I'm just gonna roll with it. You can't really tell. You can't tell. And so I might just have to do like a few extra rows in the yoke to make sure I'm at the correct yoke depth before splitting for sleeves, but meh, I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna roll with it. I would normally never do that, but I'm not gonna rip back my color work. We're not doing that. And you can't tell that I switched needle sizes, so we're rolling with it. But I'm so excited. This is gonna be like the most beautiful winter sweater ever. I cannot wait. I love Sunday Fibre Co. so much. Elise just dyes the most beautiful yarn ever. I hope she does an advent again this year, because I want it. So yeah, that's my Kintra. I'm loving it. I told myself I was not allowed to cast on for it until I was done my Saskie sweater, so as soon as I finished my Saskie sweater, I cast this on, and I've been doing just like a couple rows a night, although I've had to take a break to work on something else that I'm about to show you. And yeah, hopefully I'll be done this by December. I mean, I'm sure I'll be done it by December, but yeah, that's my Kintra. Oh, I didn't even mention who designed it. Designed by the Crayabea by Rebecca Clow. I remember seeing her put out the call for testers and I was so tempted to apply, but I didn't have like an advent or anything like that. And I figured that I'd want to use my Sunday Fibre Co. advent. So I just waited and it worked out very well. I'm glad that I did. So I have another sweater on the go as well. Because apparently I'm just sweater central right now. Ta-da! I am knitting the late checkout sweater by Kutovakika. I have been looking for just like the perfect kind of oversized sweater for quite a while now. And so when she released this, I was like, yes, that's lovely. I knew exactly what yarn I wanted to do it in. This is the same yarn actually that I'm making my Korvshan sweater out of. This is the Knitpicks Eco Wool. I think this is worsted though. This isn't the bulky, and this is the colorway Wilhelmina, which I just adore. It's like this beautiful, cool brown. I love it so much. And my plan for this is, and I've had this plan for so long and I'm so excited, I'm gonna make little felted bunny patches and put them on the elbows. I can't wait. Last year I test knit the little bunny patch for Melody Hoffman, and it was so cute and I had so much fun doing it, and I was like, well, I have to use these as elbow patches on a sweater someday. So I finally started that sweater and I'm gonna put little bunny patches on it. Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be so cute. I love the like leather elbow patches vibe of sweaters, and like because I'm in academia, asterisk, we'll come back to that later. I just think it'd be so perfect. The vibe would just be great. So that is my plan for that one. I'm loving this sweater. It's been so easy. It's been a breeze. The back detailing is lovely. Like, look at that shoulder detail. Oh, just so beautiful. I'm on a sleeve now. I pick this up whenever I want like nice, easy, basic knitting, because it's just in the round. No complex texture, no color work, nothing like that. So yeah, I've been loving that. Can't wait till I'm done that. Can't wait till I have bunny patches on the elbows. Oh, it's gonna be so cute. I think that's it for sweaters. Now let's talk about the t-shirt that I'm working on. Oh, I haven't even got to like the main project that I've been working on lately. And I also have like 4 pairs of socks to show you. I have talked about this before. This is my Dido Tee that I test knit for Sari Nordland. For the test, we just had to join under the arms and knit a sleeve. So as you can see, I've done that. And for the last little bit, I've just been working on lengthening the body and continuing. I'm a little bit worried that I'm gonna play yarn chicken. So normally I would have added the collar by now and probably done the other sleeve, but I have 7 balls of this yarn, but 2 of them are from a very different dye lot and are a lot lighter. And I figured I would use the 5 balls of yarn to do the rest of the body and then the sleeve, and then potentially take this ribbing off, like the cuff ribbing, and do this cuff, the neck, the cuff of the other sleeve, and the cuff of the body, or like the ribbing on the body, in that lighter color, so that it looks a little bit more intentional than just massive color blocking in the body of my Dido Tee, but I think it's just so beautiful, and this lace is stunning. Like, I can't get over how unbelievably beautiful this is. But I'm a little bit worried that I'm playing yarn chicken, so we'll see. I mean, I got exactly the number of balls that she recommended in the colorway, like one colorway, and then I ordered 2 extra balls just in case, and those are the ones that came in the different colorway. Or sorry, not different colorway, different dye lot. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm using Rerum Natura no, this is not Candide. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't really like how already pilled it is. And it makes my stitches look really uneven. I think this t-shirt would look a lot better in like pure silk or wool or like a different wool cotton blend. I just don't like the yarn. And I've talked at length about this, so that's all I'm going to say about that. But I've done a little bit more work on this, and I can't wait. Oh, my cat's being fed. What else have I been working on? Oh my god. I am so excited. Actually, maybe I shouldn't share about this one yet. I have an amazing collab coming up soon. You'll hear about it very soon. I have a test knit for a very exciting collaboration coming. Maybe I'll give you a sneak peek. Because I did technically post a tiny sneak peek on Instagram. That's all I'm going to show. If you are interested in that test call when it comes out, because the test call is going to be coming out for whatever is in this bag on June 1st. I'd recommend signing up for my newsletter. The test call will go out there for sure. It will also go out on my Instagram, so follow me on Instagram as well. Test call will be coming June 1st. I am so excited about this. It is a collab with one of my favorite yarn dyers ever. I want to like combust. I'm so excited. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that one. I really want to say like so much more, but I'm gonna hold off. I have a little sock project that I'm working on. I am so in love with this sock. This is the Scrappy Quilt self-striping yarn by Tiny Human Knits. I love it so much. I think the colors are just so beautiful and cozy, and I'm very excited to be finished. I'm knitting these on bigger needles than I normally do. I think this is 2.5. But I think it works well with like how thick the sock yarn is, because the sock yarn is quite thick. So that's going very well. I'm also knitting in my beautiful Blue Rabbit House bag, which I adore, by the way. This is just so cute. I remember when she posted this art on her Instagram and I commented, I was like, please turn this into a project bag because I need it. So when I saw it, I was like, oh yes, snatched it up. In this project bag, I have another very simple sock. This is my backpack project. This is the Secret History colorway by Paisley Knits, another one of my favorite dyers, from the book club Yarn Club, which was last year's Yarn Club, and Secret History was November's colorway. So I'm working on those socks. I'm almost done knitting socks out of all of the colorways from that collection, which I'm so excited about. I have a couple of designs in those colorways as well. For those ones I only have one sock, because I generally only knit one sock of my designs. This is actually one of them. This is the December colorway, which was Migrations. I think it's so pretty. Look at that beautiful green. Oh my gosh. Magical. And I think that's it for knitting works in progress. I know that was a lot. I didn't realize how many whips I had. I definitely thought I had less than this. And I have like a just cast on sock sitting on my desk that's about to become a design as well, a new sock design. Didn't realize I had that many ongoing. Now I also have 2 spinning works in progress that I'm going to share. I think I talked about this one in my last podcast episode, but I actually don't remember. This is my little Fibre Co countdown from last year, the December countdown, the Patisserie colorway. I'm spinning this as a combo spin. So I split up the 8 bumps of fiber into, I can't even remember how many pieces each. I know that there's 17 like mini bumps that go onto one bobbin each. And that's all I can remember. And I'm almost done my second bobbin. This is my first. I'm almost done my second, and then I will be doing a third because I'm going to do a 3-ply, and I think it's gonna come out at fingering weight, which I'm so excited for. The end is kind of thick here, but they're fairly thin plies, so thinking fingering weight, which I'm really happy about. I'll also be, of course, happy with sport or DK, whatever it comes out as. I'm gonna be very happy with it. I got this inspiration from somebody on Instagram. I will pop actually the picture and her Instagram on here, because this is how she spun hers, and Lauren shared it on her Instagram, and I was like, that is exactly what I need to do. So I was inspired by somebody on Instagram, so this was not my idea, to be clear. So yeah, I have another spin too. You have seen this in a very different form before. This is the little turtle off my Turkish drop spindle of another little Fibre Co spin. This was the Time fiber from her cookware club that I started during Tour de Fleece last year. And it has taken me almost a year to spin 1 ounce on my Turkish drop spindle. I pulled it off the Turkish drop spindle last night. I was like, I'm finally done. Thank God. Let's start the next one. Like the other half of the fiber, because I had 2 ounces of this fiber. And I was like, if I spin this fiber on my Turkish drop spindle, like the other half of this bump of fiber on my Turkish drop spindle, I will never finish it. It's like, I will never finish this project. So instead, I spun it on my Nano. And I spun 1 ounce of fiber in like an hour and a half. So I'm ready to ply. I like drop spindling, but I don't think it's for me. I like supported spindle spinning more. I don't know why I like it more than drop spindle spinning, but I think the supported spindle is the way I'll go for like non-wheel related spinning. I think drop spindling is just not for me. But I'm very proud that I did an entire ounce on my Turkish drop spindle. And I can't wait to ply it. I think I might do that tonight. Yeah. In terms of other, sorry, I have the hiccups, spinning things that you may not have seen. Chaos is occurring behind me. I finished my April fiber spin from Mercerie. I had 2 braids of the April fiber, and I caked one up, and the other one is obviously in its skein here. Oh yeah, I totally haven't talked about this yet. Right, okay. This is the April fiber. It is from Hidden Pond Yarns. It is superwash merino. It was so slippery to spin. Oh my God. But I had a great time spinning it. They are both 2 plies, and I spun them 2 different ways. So one of them is spun as a 1/3 fractal, and the other one is spun end to end. So I like split the braid in half and then spun both of those end to end and then plied them together that way. Because I wanted like color pooling. I wanted to like keep the color management the way that it was, and I wanted the other one to be like the fractal spin, and that's not how they turned out. The one that I spun end to end that was supposed to, I think it's this one that's supposed to be all color pooled, is like super barber pole-y, and what I was expecting out of the fractal spin. This one's the fractal spin. And it's like very color pooly. So I don't know how that happened. It's not what I was expecting. I'm still very happy with how they turned out, and I'm actually knitting a scarf. I have decided I'm actually gonna knit something with my hand spun for once, because I have never actually knit something with my hand spun, which is a little bit crazy, but I'm knitting a scarf. And I'm very excited. I think I'm just doing like a basic stockinette scarf. Kind of like a Sophie scarf, or a Sophie shawl, but not garter stitch. I'm just gonna do stockinette so that you can kind of see the colors a little bit more. And yeah, this was an adventure. Definitely not what I expected out of these two different spins. If you've ever had a similar situation where your spin and your color management did not work out the way that you're expecting it to, please let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. I logically understand how this happened, but it's still a surprise to me. So yeah, I just find it wild that the one that I was expecting to pool is way more barber pole-y than my my fractal spin. How wild. And I think that's it for projects. In terms of acquisitions, I have just one to share because I shared the acquisitions that I made at the LA Yarn Crawl in my LA Yarn Crawl video, so I just have one. It is my May fiber? June fiber? I don't know. I've lost track. From the Mercerie Fiber Club, and it is one of my favorite dyers of all time, Lauren of Little Fiber Co. And this is a colorway Antique Shop. It is 100% American Rambouillet, and this will be my next spinning project. And I'm very excited. But yeah, that is it in terms of acquisitions that I have. So I thought I would do a little bit of a life update. This is where that asterisk comes from of me being in academia. I have been asked to leave my PhD program. I am not being officially kicked out because I've done nothing to actually get kicked out yet. But they want me to leave. So I'm leaving, which means that I'm also going to be moving back to Canada coming up here at the end of the month. It's a big change. It was really sudden. Kind of unexpected. This does not mean that I'm giving up on academia. I'm going to be applying for PhDs elsewhere. I'm not giving up on my dream. This is just a little bit of a bump in the road, that's all. And yeah, I'll be applying to PhDs elsewhere. I've already found a whole bunch and applied for some, so this is just the way that it goes sometimes, I think. Academia can be a very brutal place. And I have experienced that. So yeah, I'm leaving my program. I will be moving back to Canada. So I will now have reason to wear all these sweaters. Although I guess I moved back to Canada in the middle of the summer, so maybe not, but I'll eventually have reason to wear all these sweaters. So yeah, that is my life update for you. And all of my knitting updates. I feel like I went through that so fast. Oh my gosh. I hope I didn't talk too quickly. Please let me know in the comments what you've been working on as you've been watching my podcast. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe for more content like this. And I will see you again in 2 weeks, hopefully. Have a lovely rest of your week and happy knitting. Bye!